What is up, Pyromaniacs? Pyrostasis here. We are back in the world of my apartment, and I think we're gonna kind of change things up. Something I've been thinking about for a while. We're gonna try some different type of content on the channel, and some of the stuff that you guys have been interested in for a while. Some of it not so much. We'll see how it goes, and we're just gonna give it a shot for a little bit. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, then we're no worse off than we are now. So one of the things we're gonna do. I think I'm going to title the series something along the lines of like 21 days to change my life or to make a change or something along those lines. I haven't quite decided, but hopefully by the time you see this, you'll know what I have decided. And we'll see where we go. But things about, I guess what I'm wanting to put into this is, for those of you guys who know, I had a hospital trip in April, had a little heart scare, not a heart attack, but my heart was, basically the top part of my heart was beating irregularly and incredibly fast. At one point in time, I think it topped out at 222, which is insane. And it was at 170 plus for 8-9 hours, which is ridiculous. And so it's basically just due to weight and being lethargic and not doing anything. So came back home, got on keto for the first like 30 days, burned, and the other issue is I'm so heavy that we can't get a realistic measure of my weight, which is God, when that's when you know you're fat, when like you can't get on the scale and tell. So that kind of was the wake up call. I don't want to leave my wife, dealing with things on her own, because I was, because weight loss, and this is gonna be controversial. Weight loss is easy. There's a caveat there. The process by doing weight loss is easy. A plus B equals C. It's very, very simple. The issue comes into, with the willpower, the coping, there's a lot of shame involved. There's a lot of, other stuff. But the actual process of losing weight is easy. Like I said, all you got to do is reduce your calorie intake. You need to do some form of activity. Technically, you don't need to do activity if you reduce calories, but doing the activity just makes everything better. You burn more calories, you speed up your metabolism, you get to eat more. It's better for your health. It is. There's no drawback other than the fact that you have to do it, which coincidentally is the hard part. So the whole point of, and I've been on my diet for April, May, June, July. We're coming up on 90 days now, and I don't know how much weight I've lost, again, because my home scale isn't big enough for me, and I don't know where I was to begin with. So I have a rough idea, but somewhere between, as one of my favorite comedians says, between fluffy and damn, I was much more close to damn. So I have lost about 4 inches off of my waist, which is pretty significant. But we don't know what the actual weight limit is once we get, and that's our first major goal, is get to the point where my home scale can register me. And that's our first big fireworks moment, because that will mean we've lost at least 50 pounds and most likely significantly more. So that's our first goal. And then after that, obviously I need to lose, after that, another 150 pounds, and then we'll be getting down to almost normal. So, and then we'll have a little bit more to go after that. After I lose the equivalent of 2 people, then we'll be back to normal. So, which is good. At least I've got a plan. I've got motivation now, which I didn't have before. But the problem for me has always been the exercise. The diet's tough. Don't get me wrong, especially when your method of or one of your methods of, dealing with stress and coping and stuff like that is, eating, or, meals or food or desserts or whatever it is, for me, if you have a stressful day at work, you go hit up Red Lobster, get yourself a nice meal, and it's all good, but you just ate 2,700 calories in one meal, and, you're slowly killing yourself. So since April, we've been under the caloric requirement. For me is 2,800 calories a day. I think we've had 2 cheat days in 90 days. I try not to do them, but I have gone out to the movies once, and then we had like July 4th where I might have gone a little over. Both of those times, though, if we went over, it was like for a cheat day, it wasn't. And when I say cheat days, I don't do cheat days, I do cheat meals. And even on those, we're talking like maybe 500 calories over, which is still 500 calories under maintenance. So cheat days are kind of interesting because the way my brother looks at it, cheat days or cheat meals, what you're doing is, you're taking a step back or 2 steps back, or however many you want to say, and those step back, they slow you down, but they keep your sanity. So it's kind of, the whole thing about this is, you're not doing, and this is why I think stuff like keto, paleo, Weight Watchers, whatever, I think those are bad, because those are diets, and they're, most of them are pretty restrictive, most of them are pretty crazy, and I feel they're temporary. Whatever you decide to do something, this is long term. This is for the rest of your life. And so when you look at it from those standpoints, diets make less sense. What I mean by diets are like major changes, like, I'm not going to eat carbs anymore, or I'm not going to, eat anything that's never been cooked, or whatever. It's easier if you can find a way to portion control, because you can still eat that cheeseburger if you want to. You just have to, maybe not have the large fry, or maybe not have fries at all. You can still have pizza if you want to. It's just you're not going to eat a large pizza by yourself anymore. You're going to have 2 slices and split it with the rest of your family. So it does take some adaptation, but it's doable. And for me, that's a lot more sustainable because, you're letting that pressure valve off a little bit, and it's not going to just hit you, because when you're on keto, man, I mean, there's a lot of difficulties with keto. I mean, it messes with your stomach, guts, which is fine, but, it can be awkward for the first month, and I'm not saying it's bad from a health perspective, although there are some people who believe that it is. I'm just saying that it does make changes to your body, and those changes are tough. So whereas if you're sticking with your normal diet but you're just cutting back, it helps, and you're not going to have those issues. One of the big streamers, Lyric, I like the way he puts it is, just do whatever you were going to do, but cut it in half. If you usually go and order 2 cheeseburgers at McDonald's, just eat 1. If you usually have, this, have whatever it is in half. And that's good and not good. You definitely need to track it, because, then that was one of the hardest things when I first started this is, realizing how much you actually like how much food actually costs. And by cost, I mean caloric wise. Most people don't realize that a large pizza is 3,300 calories. Most people don't realize that, a double cheeseburger for Wendy's is 950 calories, and that, a large fry is 550 calories or more, and then you add sauces on top of that, and it just gets ridiculous. And before you know it, you've eaten half of a caloric allotment in one meal, and that food is not going to fill you up for the entire time. So now it's like, oh shit, I just, ate all of this. I'm going to be hungry in 3 hours, and now I only have this many calories left. What am I going to do? So, the key thing about calorie counting is kind of reevaluating, figure out what can I eat that I'm going to enjoy that is not calorically dense, but is dense food wise. And, if you like salads and stuff like that, that's really good because you can eat a shit ton of salads. But if you're like me and you don't, then it gets tricky. But anyways, we're getting off topic. Point about the 21 days is when you start something like this, when you first started, it's tough, but after you get into a habit of it and you do it consistently, it becomes habit, it becomes a process, it becomes part of your daily life, it becomes a routine. And then once it becomes a routine, you actually can start to enjoy it. So for the next 21 days, I will be meeting my metrics. And what I mean by metrics is I'll be walking a minimum of a mile a day. Now, that doesn't sound like much for some people, but for people of my size, walking a mile and being out of shape, especially in Texas heat when it's 110 outside, that's tough. It's rough. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to scale it up. But for the next 21 days, I will walk a mile a day. Obviously going to stick with the diet, and we're also going to be working on some certifications for work. I'm going to be specifically taking one of the Azure, I think it's 104, which is the system administrator system. Let me know if you guys want to have separate videos for that, where we'd be talking about technical stuff and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to keep the series separate, because I think there are going to be people that are going to enjoy weight loss and the journey, and then there's going to be people who enjoy tech stuff and that journey, and those are technically two separate journeys. And I don't think there's going to be some mix over, because obviously when you're in IT, we are prone to obesity, we're prone to not moving, we're prone to becoming a giant fat body. So definitely a lot of people in the IT field could utilize and use some of this. But the hopes of this series is 21 days. If I'm doing it on YouTube, then that's an accountability, because it's requiring I'm making a video, and you guys, I can't let y'all down, because then I feel worse. Obviously you're letting yourself down by not doing it. That's the big thing. So we will see how this goes from here. If this goes good and it's a good deal, then we'll keep going with it. But we're going to start off with 21 days, and I'm going to probably do daily updates. And then, the rule is when I get off work, I can't do anything else until I've walked my mile and done an hour of study. And then after that, I can go and do and play. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you updated. Let me know what you guys think about this. Are you interested in the tech side and me going over what I'm going to be learning and things along those lines with Azure? If so, let me know in the comment section. If you have any questions about calorie counting, what my basic stuff that I'm going to be doing is, let me know in the comment section below. We'll be tracking my steps with a variety of apps, which I'll probably go into detail more on tomorrow. So yeah, there will be some accountability there, and I'll probably even be starting like a little group. I got to find out if I could share my progress without sharing my location. So if I can find a way to do that, then I'll open up the group for everybody, and people can join if they want, and y'all can do it too if you want, or not. You can just stalk me and creepily count how many steps, and maybe gamble on whether I hit my goals or not. So that being said, I appreciate you guys sticking with me through all this stuff. I appreciate you guys giving me an outlet to discuss this stuff. Hopefully this will motivate some of you guys to make a change before you get to where I'm at. I wish I had done it much sooner. It's a lot easier to do it when you've only got to lose 50 pounds than it is when you've got to lose 200. But we're going to get there. My brother did it. I can do it. It's mind over matter. It is an easy process, sort of. It's an easy process in that A plus B equals C, but it's a mind over matter process where you got to beat the weakness out of you, and that's the tough part. So we'll see where we go. So like I said, if you got any questions, leave them in the comment section down below. Keep it respectful. We'll see where we end up, and wish me luck on this 21-day journey.